Happy Friday to you. Hope it's been a good week as you get ready to head into the weekend. This is David Richard Hummel, balancing the tribe, body, mind, and spirit. So, got a little interesting one for today. Might be ruffle some feathers, might make you stop and think, might not like it at all. But questions that we ask about ourselves, especially regarding our health and wellness and body, mind, spirit. Questions of others, questions of our society. So, questions about yourself. Hey, do you like your current state of health? Do you like the way you look naked? That's one way to look about your physique. Are you happy with your nutrition? Do you get good sleep throughout the night? Do you get a good night's sleep every night? Do you got energy throughout the day? Do you like your mental attitude? Do you have a good upbeat going through the days? The days kind of go along? Do you have a good connection with yourself? Do you have a good connection with others? Do you have a good connection with your environment and or a higher power if you believe in one? It's a question about that. It's just the simple ones like, hey, do you like where you're at? Do you like what's going on in your life? And then from there, the answer is yes. Hey, great. Either keep doing it and or what can you do to make it better? If you like your physique, you continue working on the training program you're doing, or do you want to try something a little different or add a little more? Do you want to try tightening up your nutrition? Do you want to get better sleep? Do you want to work on a better attitude? Do you want stronger connections to yourself, stronger connections to your higher power, stronger connections with others? And if the answer is no, you don't like any of those, okay, what can you do about it? If you do not like your physique, if you don't like the way you look naked, what can you do about it? What are you willing to do about it? Is it exercise? Yeah, I tried exercise before, I didn't like it. Well, what type of exercise do you like? And yeah, you're going to have to plan on doing something. You got to put in the work. Yeah, I don't like diets to restrict food. Okay, what foods do you like? There's ways you can always do this to fit into your time frame. You can do things, you can take care of your health on your terms. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just sit around on the couch. If your goal is, say, to get in better shape, you want to lose some inches around the waist, decrease your blood pressure, something like that one there. Doesn't mean you can sit on the couch and not exercise or just eat junk food. It ain't going to work. You got to be honest with yourself and put in the effort. But you can still do things on your terms. So ask yourself the question there, what can you do? What are you aware of? And if you're not aware, research. Reach out to someone, get a coach. Find out people that actually trust. And who you trust, it might be some time you got to filter through because there's a lot of crap out there online in any area. So you got to filter through and find out what's good stuff and what works for you. So that's questions we come out here about, questions of others. Is the attitude of the person you're being around, you're around them and you just feel completely wiped out afterwards? You had a good day, then you're around someone, and next thing you know, you're a little agitated and irritated. Questions, is it worth being around that person? Is someone you come around, all they do is complain about what's going on in life? Is that a type of person you want to be around? Is the person always a negative? They do nothing but negative information, like on social media. Negative, negative, negative. Is that the type of information, is that the type of energy you want to allow into your life? So questions. Even with your doctors. Most of the time, at least in my experience, doctors will not give you answers unless you ask the questions. Sometimes you got to push for the questions. They'll say, here, take this medication, and that's it, go home. It's like, okay, why am I taking this medication? What can I do? How long am I going to be on it? What can I do to get off of it? Those typically aren't the questions they're going to answer unless you ask them. So, just because a medical professional, do not put them up on a pedestal. Just like a plumber. Plumber's got more background information in dealing with plumbing issues. Electricians got more in technical. Contractors got more in this. I got a background degrees in exercise physiology and I've done massage therapy. I got more background in that. Doctors have a specialty in this one here. And now all of us, we do make mistakes. We absolutely can make mistakes, but ask the right questions. So questions of others, questions of the world we live in now, especially with the times right now. Just questions. There's nothing wrong with this. This is just, so yeah, we got questions about ourselves, about your health and wellness, questions about others. Now, questions about the society you live in general. Now, not going to give you answers. This is something you got to ponder on yourself. Like right now, with the whole thing going on. Think about this. Now, right now, people are being required to show a little card that says they had something or not. Think about the people around you. Do you know of any other procedures they've had done? Do you know what type of shots they've had done? Any of their medical history? Most likely not. So what is the reason this little thing is being required to be shown? We used to have medical privacy. So that just questions like, okay, why is that being done? To get this little jab thing. What other time in history have people been incentivized as bribed to get something done? And now since that hasn't kind of worked, now they're being forced and kind of threatened about it. What other time in history has that happened? Just kind of some things to ponder. We have the issue of mask. I shared up a post yesterday sharing up research studies kind of back up showing masks might not really work. So that aspect there, it's the ideas of lockdowns. Now, one of those things we know, the social media, or media in general, they're filtered what they tell us. They're only allowed to tell certain things. And usually it's the negative point of view. So one thing I personally don't trust in social media. I stopped watching the news a couple of decades ago because I know it's limited information. So questions to ask. Now, right now, a lot of times the death of this CVID stuff's coming out. But yet, what happened to the flu? Flu just suddenly disappeared. But yet, what would happen if the media showed us how many people die from car accidents every day? Cancer every day, and a bunch of these other ones. There's other things to kind of pay attention to. Our elected political officials say, do this. You got to close your restaurants down. But yet, I'm going to keep my restaurant open and go in there. You can't go in salons, but yet it's okay for me to go into a salon. You have to wear a mask, but yet I'm not going to wear a mask. You can't have get-togethers, but I'm going to have a big get-together. Just questions. You're going to have to reach your own conclusions, but things like that, especially with what's going on right now, it's things that kind of go through the question. So yeah, questions. There's a lot of things you can go through and do. Find your own answers. You got to do research, and with research, you got to be very careful with the sources you go to. Are they held on science? I shared a post yesterday again talking about science. What's the scientific method? Peer-reviewed journals. And even with speaking of science, usually in the FDA, it takes several years to get a drug approved. But yet this little jab thing came out, not even FDA approved, if I remember right. And yet it's out there for something that's been, and even with the CDC. Here's the numbers today. We're going to change it tomorrow. We're going to change it here. We're going to change it. It hasn't stayed consistency. For something that they have stated over and over again, which is what, 98.6 survivable? Now, that's not saying, I'm not saying there are precautions. Anytime there's always precautions. There's always ways to boost your immune system naturally. Like simply just eating healthy, exercising, the first things I talk about here. About your body, your mind, your spirit. Those are definitely ways to boost your system naturally. Other things you can do? Yeah, absolutely. But you're going to have to find your own direction, your own way. I'm just suggesting you ask some questions. Again, we start with ourselves. And that's the most important thing is you got to start with yourself. Ask questions about yourself. Then expand out to say others, what does this person tell me? Do I want this person in my life? And again, we talk about with in regard to body, mind, spirit. And then to random lunch. Just ask questions. And find your answers. And there's too many people that I've come across that just accept things blindly. And I've been before, but as I've learned, I've kind of educated myself. It's like, okay, I need to ask questions. Where's this coming from? What's going on? What's the truth? So just do that. In whatever areas of your life, just ask questions. Find your answers and find your own truth. All right, so I'll leave that with you. Let me know your thoughts on that. And what is your experience on asking questions in your own life and others? And what are results you got that? Even think back, not just immediately with what's going on in the world right now, just go back several years. Did you have questions you asked in your health and realize, okay, I need to make a change for myself? And you're able to change it around and improve your health, whether it was exercise, losing weight, strengthen your immune system, you're on medication you didn't want to be on, so you're able to find an alternative way around it. Maybe you lost connections with yourself. Maybe you lost connection with your higher power if you believe in one. Did you ask questions about yourself and realize, okay, I need to get back on track for me? I was able to find my way back. So, again, questions. Always be asking questions. And don't be like from the little kids. If the little kids ask you a question, you just tell them because. Yeah, that's not an answer. So, make sure that doesn't mean you're always going to like the answer you come up with. That's the one thing there. You're not necessarily always going to like the answer. Just make sure sometimes you may go to a couple different sources. And be wary of the sources, especially right now, because I know there's been documentation, there's stuff on like Wikipedia backed information for a drug out there, but it's all completely fabricated information, and it's paid for by the drug company to get all this information. So you have to be careful with your resources, and today, especially with online, we have so much access at our fingertips online. Not all of it's true. But questions. Always be asking questions. Enjoy your weekend, and hopefully, like in definitely Northern California, it's still very smoky. I got a friend that's traveling across the country. He said he didn't get out of the smoke until he got to about Nebraska with how many fires are going on. So keep the thoughts and prayers to the firefighters that are going out there and fighting these blazes, as well as the rest of the presidents that are helping people out. So with that, have yourself a great weekend. I'll catch you on Monday. Balancing to you. Bye-bye.